Switch to the no gloves. What's the aesthetic?
Yeah, it's just a change in heart. I feel like I have a little more feel with the gloves off. So temporarily, we got them off.
It feel good to show off the hands in your first game.
Yeah. I mean, with the interception in the first game with the gloves off, I had to keep it rolling.
You face some rushing quarterbacks this year, but nobody to the level of Lamar. Just like what goes into preparing for what he brings to the game across the board.
Yeah, I mean, another dynamic running quarterback. It seems to be the standard in the league now. So it's kind of just the expectation every week. But Lamar is obviously a different kind of athlete. So we're preparing and we're ready. We're ready to play him.
And it also seems that this is a different kind of defense. Talk about the groove you guys are in right now.
Yeah, I mean, we're rolling, and this is what I think everybody envisioned, when AG came here and kind of, took control of this defense. And I think we're finally doing what's expected of us. So I think it's really exciting to see, and I think the fans are loving it. And so, we're having fun while we're doing it.
You spoke a lot to a lot of different offensive players, but even as a whole, defensively too, how much trust does the team have in Jared Goff as one of the leaders of his team?
No doubt. Jared is he shows up every week, and that's I saw some stat about him in the last 17 games. It's crazy. He's been balling, and we got a good flow going on. It's our offense is scoring points and very dependable, not really turning over the ball, and we're getting turnovers on defense. We're getting 3 and out, so it's really good complementary football.
So look at the standings and see 5-1. You guys are at the top of the division, top of the NFL. How much does it validate what you guys have to do day to day to see Detroit at the top?
Yeah, it's huge, and it's important, man, for us to be in this position, because that was the expectation this year, and now we're here, and we're a third of the way through the season now, I think. So it was the expectation going into the season. So I think we're going to continue to do what we're doing.
Somebody might ask you this, but I didn't. When you took that helmet to the thigh or whatever, how much did it hurt? How much did it limit you, if at all? The rest of the
yeah.
game last week they did.
Yeah, no, I mean, I couldn't walk for a little while, and then I played. Yeah, I mean, it was still a little bit in the last game, but I think I'm over it now. And it was just one of those things where my leg whips and the hip gets all jacked up, and so it's just a lot of pain. But that's football.
See him coming? I mean, it kind of came out of nowhere.
I saw him at the last second. I promised myself after that Giants game that I'm gonna go score a touchdown. It's a Giants game. I won't swear, but I did walk out of bounds, and so I promised myself I'm gonna run in the end zone. That's the price you gotta pay if you're gonna try. Head on a swivel next time, but still, I'm getting that damn touchdown.
Just what do you see from their offense? I mean, it's changed maybe a little bit. You're throwing a little bit more. Just some thoughts on what you've seen from them. What they're trying to do, I guess.
Yeah, they're definitely throwing the ball more. Not their usual what they've had in the past with running the ball. But I mean, they're a good offense, a really good football team, and they've been great for a long time. So it's one of those teams that's. It's a huge game. It's kind of I think the stakes are rising every week with how well we're playing. We got to continue to do that, and they're a team with a great culture and Coach Harbaugh, and I mean, year after year they're a playoff team. So another test.
Lamar is dangerous as ever still. I mean, just he's the way he can run it, the things he can do as a dual threat, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. I know there's criticism in the media and stuff. I don't really read it too much. It's just what they got on the TV sometimes. But I mean, from what I see on film, he's a dynamic player, and we got to expect that he's going to bring his best.
Over the years, how much interaction have you had with their Coach Harbaugh?
He had came to a practice at Michigan one time, fired us up my senior year, but that's pretty much it. That's I haven't had too many interactions with him.
How much has the defense enjoyed going on the road? And we've talked about the crowds that have been there and the performances that you guys have put on, but to know that you're essentially shutting up the opposing fans, how many feeling is that?
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, I was talking to Danny about this yesterday. Like, I came in with some snap count like indicators, some when you hear something this or that, and I couldn't hear anything when I was on defense. Like I couldn't even hear the snap count. So it was it definitely changed up kind of what I was expecting going into it, just because it's damn near a home game when we're it's half and half when we're away right now. So it's hard to hear any little checks or stuff you pick up on in the week. Can't hear anything, So it makes my job a little harder. Well, not even harder, but it just makes those little tips and tricks, they go away, but it's all worth it because you get that momentum and you get that energy that the fans bring. That's the most important thing.
Playing at an MVP type level to begin the first 6 games of the season. What do you attribute the most to that?
Yeah, it's a lot of hard work, obviously, but typically when the team's playing well, it makes my job a hell of a lot easier. And defense is giving us short fields, O-line's protecting really well, and I got receivers downfield making plays. So all that comes together, and I do my part, and it makes it a lot easier for me.
You mentioned on your radio show yesterday the touchdown pass to J-Mo, and you said it wasn't your best pass or whatever. So do you have to learn his speed, and you have to sync that up?
No, it just didn't come out of my hand great. Yeah, he made a great play. Again, that's kind of what I'm referring to is, I'm not always perfect, and these guys are making catches down the field, making plays after the catch, like Saint did on the route underneath, and makes me feel good when I'm able to do that.
You look at this defense; it's one of the best in the league. Number 2 against the pass, top 10 against the run, 24 sacks, leads the NFL. Just what jumped out to you on tape, maybe more specifically with their pass defense that's been so good all year?
Yeah, it's kind of similar to last week in how good they are defensively, and 2 elite linebackers again, really good back end, and obviously a good pass rush leading the league in sacks or however many they have. They've got a bunch. So yeah, it's a challenge on every level. I wish I could tell you what a weakness was, but I don't know if there is one. We got to, come ready to play. It'll be a challenge.
We talked with you a couple weeks ago, obviously, about the interceptions and the lack of them and the jinxing. And the efficiency you have, though, is something to be admired. Do you consider yourself a perfectionist in the way that you study the playbook and try to put it all together on the field?
Yeah, you try to be. It's never perfect. Our game is not a perfect game, but you strive for perfection, and you probably try to land somewhere close to it. You never will really. But yeah, that's kind of my daily, every day. I think a lot of us are. You strive for that, and land somewhere hopefully close to it.
There are quarterbacks that have made a name for themselves as a gunslinger, a guy who takes risks, and that usually comes with interceptions, with turnovers. You are doing it in a much different way, and you're finding a ton of success. Did that start early in your career, your mindset of how you play the position?
No, I've gone through many streaks of a lot of interceptions throughout my career, and right now I'm playing better than I did then. So just trying to take care of the ball and keep it in our hands.
Do you appreciate
Go ahead.
Do you appreciate this level? It's still early, but this level of success now because you had to fight for it, you had to crawl back, you had to get it. And obviously you came kind of early in LA a little bit, but do you appreciate this go around a little more? Just all you had.
Yeah,
to do?
you're always working towards this. It's always a lot of hard work in the off season to get to a place where we can sit here at 5-1 and say we've done some good things. And I think that's what you always strive for. I don't know if it is any different than any other time that I've been on a good team playing well, but it's certainly a good feeling.
What does Tanner Engstrand bring to the pass game?
Yeah, Tanner's been awesome, man. He's pass game coordinator, PGC, what we call him, and he's been great and brings different ideas to Ben, brings different thoughts. I'm able to ask him questions that he can answer instead of bogging Ben down with more. I can kind of go to Tanner with some of that stuff, and he's been extremely helpful for me. I had him in the quarterback room my first year, and he's bounced around this building a couple times, but he's doing a hell of a job.
Jared Dan said something interesting today about Baltimore not attacking any opponent the same, and so it's a cat and mouse game because you guys kind of do the same thing offensively. You try to create unique game plans for each opponent. So how unique is this week as you're kind of maybe playing a little bit more of a guessing game with their defense than some others?
Yeah, they do mix it up weekly, and so we'll see what they want for us. And as time goes, when you're a good offense, you typically get a wrinkle every week, no matter what type of defense they are. And right now we are a good offense, and expect something that they haven't shown yet, or some certain type of coverage or blitz or wrinkle for us. And we'll react to it and be ready when it comes.
You've been so good at working the ball to the middle of the field. It's one of your strengths. This is a defense that's very strong in the middle with those 2 linebackers and then Hamilton in the D spot. So how much is that, I guess, a strength on strength challenge? How difficult is that? Do you have to look at this matchup differently in that way?
Yeah, like I said, they're two elite linebackers, and Hamilton's playing really well. We'll see if Marcus Williams is able to play, but yeah, they're really good in the middle. So yeah, it'll be a challenge, no doubt, on multiple levels. But yeah, it will be ready for it.
Jared, you played so well in the last year, and especially obviously continuing at that this year. Have you met your own expectations? Have you exceeded them?
Yeah, you know, you're always working. I think, yeah, I've done some good things. It's been 6 games, and how many more do we have? Let me do some math real quick. 11? Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so, yeah, I'd like to be able to look back 11 games from now and give you a better answer. It's 6 games in, and I've played well, and we've played well as a team. And like I mentioned at the beginning of this, it's, you know, it's a lot easier to play well when you're getting short fields and turnovers and good pass protection. So, but doing my job every day and just trying to continue to get better. I'm not going to change my daily mindset, you know, because things are going well. Just continue to push it and get better.
Do you feel that you're playing better now? You always had some good seasons with the Rams, but do you feel you're playing better now than you did even with them?
Yeah, much.
And one of the things you said when you were leaving LA was you took pride in bringing LA football back into prominence. Do you feel like you've done that with Detroit right now, at least early? I mean, the way you see the people traveling and everything.
You know, again, it's so early. You know, we've done some good things, and yeah, we feel the excitement from the city and from the fans, and it's fun. Certainly, home games right now are on a different level than I've experienced, and now some of the away games have been, you know, on a different level than I've experienced as well. So yeah, we feel that energy, and we certainly feel our fans behind us right now, and it gives us that wind in our sails to kind of keep going and hopefully stay on this trajectory. But it's a lot of work, man. It's a lot of hard work, and we're so early on, and you know, I know everyone's so excited, as are we, but we got a lot of work to do and another tough challenge this week.
Dan talked a little bit about your evolution as a quarterback. I'm curious where you feel like maybe you evolved the most since getting out.
Yeah, it's another hard question to answer. It's you know, every level of the game, and I've talked about this a handful of times in the last couple of years, but I got here after 4 years of starting, and now I'm in my 7th year starting, and I wish I could give you something specific other than just reps and just seeing things more than once, and being very familiar with what we're doing on offense and settling in as a player and getting better and maturing and learning and the whole thing. That's really what it comes down to. And I'd still like to think I'm relatively young in the league. I'm, again, in my 7th year starting, still in my 20s, hanging on to that for 1 more year. So, yeah, it's you know, hopefully I can look back at this point and say I've learned so much more 5 years from now.
Jared, you had a tough start though. You were 0-7 your first 7 starts. What
As a rookie?
It's a rookie.
Yeah, long time ago. Yeah.
I just wonder what sort of impact that had on you.
Yeah, I certainly took my lumps and learned I learned what it took to lose, you know, and how easy it is to lose if you don't do the right things, and how good our league is, and yeah, learned a lot about myself and grew through that and was able to overcome it.
You probably brush off a lot of the accolades, NFC Offensive Player of the Week, but to stand in front of your group and have Dan Campbell give you a game ball in front of all your teammates, does that hit a little different?
Yeah, it's special. Yeah, it's definitely cool, and appreciate him for that. But again, like I said, it's never me. It's you know, typically a combination of a lot of things on our team that allows me to play at a high level and distribute the ball.
Thank you, guys.